Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I have a message for you coming straight to you from me and my life. So of course, that's how it goes. But before I jump into today's topic, I want to invite you to be a part of the Quit Sugar Challenge, which is coming up really soon. The Quit Sugar Challenge is a 5-day journey of classes, one class a day, where you attend live in a Facebook special Quit Sugar Challenge Facebook group. And you, along with the rest of us, have the opportunity to quit sugar. And not only that, but do it in a really fun, engaging way, where we have prizes, where we have lots of Q&A. You have the opportunity to learn about the ingredients in the foods that you're eating and where there might be hidden sugars. You'll get recipes. There's a workbook that comes with this where you get 30 recipes of super yummy foods that have no sugar in them. You have the chance to be with other people around the globe who are sick and tired of the effects of sugar in their life, sick and tired of sugar binges, sick and tired of the sugar bloat. So by the end of the 5 days, we have people who have lost weight, 3 or 4 pounds. We have people who have stopped the ache in their joints. If they have arthritis issues that are, exacerbated by sugar in their bodies, by the inflammation the sugar causes, that's gone. They start feeling better. Their headaches are gone. All kinds of amazing things happen in just 5 days. So join us for the Quit Sugar Challenge by going to quitsugarchallenge.com. Join us there. It's a great experience, super fun, super, super inexpensive. And also, if you get in early, you're going to get a break in the price. So definitely join us. It's not expensive either way, but get in now before the price goes up. So join us at quitsugarchallenge.com. Super excited about that. And I'm also recording this today from the Secret Sauce group. So the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating Now is where you go if you want to get support with overcoming emotional eating, if you want to be the first to know about cool things that are happening, or special classes. And also you get to comment when I have guest speakers, and you get to ask the guest questions. So lots of cool things happen in the Secret Sauce group. So join us there. Go to Facebook and type in the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating and be a part of that. So thank you. And you'll hear me asking for comments, and that happens as I record this show. So on with the show. So I wanted to touch base with you today about a topic that is top of mind for me. So that's usually my inspiration. So I want to talk to you about this. And it's really about choices we make and our attitudes towards those choices. So I hope this is helpful to you. Please say hello in the chat, in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you and hear about your thoughts about this topic of choice. So I want to start by just giving you some context to how this is happening. I had a coaching group call yesterday, and, with my awesome clients, and somebody asked a question that I thought was great. It was really about a personal situation in her life where there was a family member that was sort of causing stress and strain, and for her and her husband. And, this is such a typical situation. When we have family that we can't exactly get away from. We could if we wanted to, but sometimes we have to find ways to work with this person or with their stuff and the way they kick up stress and strain. So, and I gave her some advice that I heard. The beautiful thing about what I get to do in life is I get to, bring my experiences of over 30 years of helping people with emotional eating. I get to bring that to my coaching calls, to my work with clients who are overcoming emotional eating. And not only is that wonderful, but I also get to hear things I say to other people and use it myself. So in this particular situation, I, in the moment of inspiration, I gave her some advice that I was like, Oh, that's good. I can use that. So I want to talk about it here because I've been mulling it over. So in my own life, I have a person in my life, namely my ex-husband, who I find causes me stress or doesn't cause me stress. I get stressed in my relations with him sometimes, because there we go. I have to take responsibility for my stress, right? That's rule number one is look at myself, take responsibility. So if I'm getting stressed out, it's on me. Okay. So, but nevertheless, I get stressed in this relationship for sure. This particular relationship, which I think is not uncommon when you're dealing with an ex, right? You have kind of built up sort of like opinions and triggers and hooks around certain ways that you communicate, certain things that the other person does. And those things kind of lead you to leave the relationship if that's what you end up doing. So being in continual communication with this person, that stuff can just get kicked up. And some people, when they leave a relationship or divorce, they're kind of done. But if you have kids in common, if you have, finances or business stuff in common, and you have to continue to be in relation with this person, it's not so easy as just walking away. And that's how it is with family members, right? Like my client, it was something that, this person's not going to leave her life. She's going to have to deal with this person in one way or another, and this disruptive way that they act. And so I thought about this regarding my situation with my ex and thought, first of all, I'm struggling. I'm telling you, this week I've struggled in my communications with him. And if you're wondering why I have communications with him still, A, I love him. B, I live in close proximity to him. C, we do share some common, things in our lives that we continue to support each other in, namely addiction and overcoming addiction. So food addiction specifically, but others as well. So we've made a decision to continue to be friends. And I'm so grateful for that because he's a really wonderful person and there's a lot more good than there is bad or stress. So, that's the choice I've made, which is kind of where I'm headed with this. Spoiler alert. But anyway, so I get stressed out. I am not the person I want to be sometimes when I'm dealing with him. Do you have somebody in your family or in your life that you continue to be in relation with that you don't like how you are around them? Okay. Is there somebody who triggers you where you're not at your best self around this person? Okay. So I want you to be thinking about that. Like, who in my life do I get triggered by? There's got to be someone. There's always someone, right? These are our teachers. So I get triggered by my ex-husband and stuff comes up and I have to write about it. And I'm just not my best self, sometimes it's easy peasy, but sometimes it's not. And I get tense and I get kind of, tight, and I get impatient, intolerant. It comes out. Okay. Sometimes a little snippiness, and not being as nice as I want to be, you can hear the impatience and tolerance in my voice, and he gets offended and, then I have to apologize. But it would be so much better if I didn't do that. It'd be so much better if I could just be nice and kind all the time and not get triggered and not react. Do you have an ex you react with? Do you have a parent that you react with? It happens. This is life. We're human. I'm human. So yeah, it happens, especially with this person. I've spent, over 30 years being in relation with this person. And so we have history, we've got stuff, we've got triggers. But overall, we have a lot of love. And that's why I'm still in relation with this person. And I'm grateful for that. Nevertheless, I don't like how I get. I don't like it. I feel bad about it. I get mad at myself that I'm not easier and kinder. And so it's a struggle right now, and it's my teacher, and my experience is, and this is actually a quote from Roy. If we didn't have anybody or anything to provoke us, we would have no occasion to grow. If we didn't have anything or anybody to provoke us, we would have no occasion to grow. So he provokes me and I get to grow. Yay. So anyway, so I want to talk about choice because this is how I get to a place of peace. Because when we have people who trigger us, the tendency is to feel victimized. Okay. Like I'm so triggered by this person. I wish they were different. I wish they wouldn't do X. I wish they wouldn't do Y. I wish they were more Z. Right. So this is how I get, there's things about him that I get frustrated about. I get angry about. I get, wishing it weren't that way. And then I feel victimized. I feel like I hate this situation. I hate being in the situation. I hate having to deal with this person. So I get into that victim thinking that somehow I'm a victim. Like somehow I'm a victim because it's so frustrating dealing with this person and I don't like it. So there's a beautiful quote, which is accept it, change it, or leave it. Okay. So when it comes to relationships, you can either, or situations or jobs or places that you live or any number of things, health conditions sometimes, but that you can always leave your health condition. But bottom line is for relationships, for sure, accept it, change it, or leave it. So here I am in this relationship feeling victimized because it's so difficult and triggering and stressful at times, only at times. But in those moments, that's how I feel. I feel victimized. And the nice thing is I can either accept this person how they are. I can attempt to change this person or change myself in the relationship or leave the relationship, And so in this instance, fortunately, I have all three options. But what helps me is to realize I have a choice. Okay. I have a choice of one of those three things or two of them at least. And because I choose, like if I come down to it, I'm like, wait, I'm choosing to be in a relationship with this person. I'm no victim. I've made this decision. I've made a decision to get out of the relationship, but still be in relation. Okay. A relationship in a different way, in a friendship, in a relationship of, being supportive and kind and, just loving towards each other in friendship. So I made that choice and I didn't have to make that choice. I could have tried to cut this person out of my life completely, but I didn't want to do that. That I don't think would have been the best choice. So I chose to stay in a relation with my ex, and it helps me to remember that so I don't feel victimized. We feel victimized when we feel like we have no option. That's when I feel like a victim, is when I feel like I'm stuck in a situation, right? And do you feel stuck in some way? Do you feel like with this relationship where you get triggered, do you feel like you're stuck in it? Well, what's helped me is to recognize, and this is the advice I gave to my client, recognize that you have choices, and it helped me to recognize I chose to be in relation with this person who stresses me out sometimes to where I'm feeling really, really strained, and very challenged. I chose that. And when I realize I chose it, I can take responsibility and I can realize I'm not a victim here. I have a choice. So it's on me. It's on me. I'm not a victim. So that helps me tremendously. So let's get back to accepting it, changing it, or leaving it. So in this situation, I can accept my ex the way he is. I am not going to change him. Okay. So changing him is not an option. I made the mistake many years ago of thinking I could, and that only set me up for failure and frustration. If you ever tried to change somebody else, you know what I'm talking about. It's a common practice for emotional eaters to try to change their spouse. Yep. We do try because we tend to be a little bit controlling, we emotional eaters. And women. So it's not happening, right? It's not easy to change somebody else. It's hard enough to change ourselves. So that comes to changing it, meaning for myself. And so accept it, change it, or leave it. We can't change the other person, but we can change ourselves. So I can accept that person the way they are, and I can change myself, which is to try to be more patient and loving. And that's something I can do, with God's loving grace. I can start changing how I am in this relationship. And one of the things I so want to change is not reacting, and I've gotten much better at it over the years. I mean, he's really good at pushing me, like just hitting all the right buttons. He's great at it. And over the years, I've gotten really good at not reacting, but I still react some. And that's when I get stressed and tense and snippy and bitchy. And I don't want to be that way. So it's really me. I need to change. So I need to accept him and change myself if I choose to stay in the relationship. And of course, I also have the option of leaving. But knowing I have a choice helps me to realize I'm not a victim. And that's what I told my client the other day, is if you can see that you have choices and reframe the situation and the relationship to one where you choose to be helpful to this person, you choose to be kind to this person, and therefore you aren't feeling oppressed by them. So I think this topic of choice is so, so important. And that's really why I wanted to do a little show on this, because I think it makes all the difference in the world when we choose the situation that we're in, or reframe it to where we see where we have choice. So this topic of reframe and recognizing our freedom to choose how we are in the relationship, or even to be in the relationship, that's where the freedom lies. And I'm so grateful for that. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on accepting that I've chosen this, in which case I'm not a victim. And I'm in the process of remembering with God's loving grace to not react, to just respond instead of react. And also to feel grateful that, I have this relationship, and to recognize the good things about it. And to recognize that it's an opportunity for me to practice kindness, to practice being loving, to practice being patient. This person is my teacher, and I believe we attract people in our lives so we can learn from the relationship, especially the hard ones. The easy ones, we don't learn a lot from that, except perhaps joy, like how to bring more joy in our lives. But the relationships that really try us and strain us, they are our teachers, because, if we want to get through it without too much stress or trouble or heartache, we have to raise up, we have to raise ourselves up, and reach for those qualities that might be hard. And that stretch is really valuable and will change us. So I love it. I love, ultimately, I don't love it in the moment that I'm feeling stretched, but I love the reframe that this person is my teacher. He's always been my teacher. I've learned so much from him. I'm so grateful for him. He was my mentor before he was my husband. I've learned so much from him, and I'm super grateful for him. And I choose to be in relation with him still, because obviously I have more to learn. So our dynamics stretch me, and they call on me to come up higher with patience and love. And those are good qualities to have: tolerance, patience, and love. So I just want to bring it back to you. Please comment below. And in the secret sauce group, what qualities are you being called to bring forth in your trying relationships? Okay. What ways can you reframe the places where you feel victimized in relation with other people? What ways, how can you turn it around? How can you turn it around? How can you see ways that you have opportunities to grow? Okay. So go ahead and put it in the chat. Let's get a conversation going. But this is an important conversation. This is really how we can change our lives. Okay. There is a teacher, a famous philanthropist and spiritual leader called Satguru, and from India. And he says, you can use this mind either to create well-being or misery for yourself. Everyone has this choice. You can use this mind, our minds, either to create well-being or misery for yourself. Everyone has this choice. And I just love that. I love that. It's the truth. What is our choice? What is our choice? Well-being or misery? And the nice thing is we don't have to get out of a relationship. We don't have to excommunicate somebody from our lives in order to be in well-being. It's simply something, a shift in our consciousness that we can do between our ears. That's it. And that's the truth. That is the truth. I'm not saying it's easy, but that is the truth. The truth is we don't need to change the circumstance or the relationship or the person. What we have to do is change our perspective and change ourselves, and then we're free. We can live in freedom. So again, not saying it's easy, but this is how we do it. Okay. And living in freedom is so important because we don't want the stress of our relationships to drive us to eat. That doesn't help at all. So hope this has been helpful, help me. I need to hear it. I need to hear it as much as it might be helpful for you to hear it. I need to hear it. So thank you for that. Sending you so much love. I'll see you later. Please comment below.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.